All right, welcome back to episode 12 of the IBL podcast. I'm your host, Pony RL, and I'm joined by four lovely guests today. We'll start with Hyla. Hello, Hyla. How are you doing today?
Hello, Pony RL. I'm doing well. I've been called into this podcast very last minute. Like I got the DM 3 minutes ago. It's crazy work, but I'm
We,
ready to talk because I don't know. He's
we,
Keys is kind of ugly.
yeah, we appreciate you being here on such short notice. And then we also have KeysSweaty. Hello, KeysSweaty. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
All right, that's fine. All right. Then we have our A-League Finals MVP, Brunted. Hello, Brunted. How are you doing today?
I'm very good on my time zone night, but I'm just ready to talk about the IBL playoff run from our side being Donut Kingdom and just the playoff run to win season 5. I mean, my second ring, third finals, and I'm just gonna share our journey with my teammate slash owner, Gruel.
And certainly, last but not least, we have the People's Finals MVP, I would say. Grod. Hello, Grod. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing alright today, but just in general, like, pretty humbled to be here, knowing like what it took to have the privilege to be among this company of victors, because it was not easy. But yeah, I'm doing good.
Well, then, that is great to hear. We will start off where we left off last time, probably over a month ago at this point, with the A-League semifinals between Donut Kingdom and the Syndicate.
From my perspective, going into this game, I just really I'm sure at least Evie's also he we really wanted to win this game. Not only just we'll get into the finals, but it's also the rivalry, which I'm sure a lot of people are aware about. Especially going off season 4 with an amazing 35 rounder, and we came out at the bottom and we lost. And then in the mid season, we lost to them as well on a map 3 round 7. So the losses to Cindy were very, very just down to the wire. And then the playoffs game just went so much different and a lot more smoother on our end. And it's just coming off that game, it was such a great triumph for our team. We had a clip, and let's just say Braun broke the sound barrier as soon as we won in 1 second. It was such a
I
triumph
know
for
what
our
you're
team.
talking about. Yeah.
It was such a big just win for our team, and then just beating the rivalry or just winning the rivalry and the game that matters, and then also just going to the finals just felt really good. And that whole game at the start, going into it, we felt confident, and then we lost map 1 pretty badly, and then map 2 we were down 3-1. It was such a scary situation for us, and then we just bounced back and won 11 rounds in a row and won the game.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what is the team mentality looking like in VC when you're down 1-0 on maps and down 3-1 on rounds?
It was a bit grim for a little bit. We really had to kind of collect ourselves for a bit. Because trenches last time, in season 4 was not ideal for us. We had 4 rounds to win the game and move on to the semi-finals. We lost all 4, got reverse swept on that map. We nearly did the the same to them on Classic, down 3-1, but that didn't happen. This time around, lose trenches, down 3-1 on Graffiti. Pretty sure we got filled on in the 4th round. We've just been filled on. Bamsy's a key member of our team. He's a key member in bringing up the mental of our team. He did a great job on bringing us back up, both both mentally and physically, in the sense that I think he aced round 6. Because I'm making a video. This isn't really self promo because it's going on the Donut Kingdom channel, but a collection of all the A-League's best aces from the last season, and I had to make sure I've got Bamsy's ace in there because that saved our skin. That was a scary round because if we had lost that, shit would have hit the fan. But once we had it, and I say this as a healer who kind of just like sits back and watches things unfold on graffiti, there is no better feeling than just listening to your team like scream in joy when they get 1 kill, 2 kill, and I can just sit back and fill and be like, oh, thank God we've got it. And we moved on 1-1, and we were just like, yep, it's even. Just play the rest of the game as it is, because after we had been through quite a bit of an emotional roller coaster in the first 2 maps, we were in the exact same scenario we were last season, just in the semis instead. And then we won 8 rounds in a row. We were up, like, on the 4th round of Courtyard, which was the last map, we were up 2-1. It was the exact same scenario as we were in last season. We could have lost 4 rounds in a row and gone to a map 5 again. But Cindy didn't call a timeout, and I kind of felt like that right there was like, yeah, they don't think they can get us. And we just did the same thing we did every time, just hit right back. And yeah, also just saying, by the way, at the end of that game, Brunted, Eevees, and Bamsey all cried, by the way, and I tanked it out like a man.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just
Uh,
lying now. You're just
eh,
lying now.
but we were, yeah, that was probably the hardest game we had to go through in that playoff run by a mile, and I'm I'm just glad we got through it because that was the I think the game with the most stakes for all members of our team. We just wanted to make another finals. We weren't too concerned about winning it at that point. It was just making the finals for us. But yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add, like, with that game, I did the map selection for our team, and just the thought process for like each map pick, like we fully predict, like, well, I personally fully predicted like what the map order would be, like, 'cause obviously we know our picks, and then their pick was pretty obvious, like. However, their pick into Courtyard did surprise me, and I feel like once we got to Courtyard, like in the game, our whole team just got so confident, especially bouncing off a 4-0 Watermill, which I actually had to like point out that we just had to pick Watermill because we knew we were just well, I was just confident that we could easily beat Syndicate on Watermill since they had no real feat on it. But just like generally speaking about like how just some rounds went and just how the early game of the went when it was mainly in their favor. It's just we really had to keep in mind just like we just really had to remember like how capable our team was, and like at the end of the day our team was just about like four guys who are just great friends, and we just had to remind ourselves that we just got to keep a good mental, and just we're always able to bounce back, and we so did. Just a beautiful
Mhm.
game from our side.
And you mentioned Bamsey earlier. I was wondering like how much confidence you had, because I know Bamsey was a outstanding B League player last season. Like how much confidence did you have that this group of 4 was like enough to win the whole thing?
Oh, we knew it from the start. We knew it from before the season started. We literally had it set in stone partway through season 4. God, we need to get us 4 together in a season, play it out, and see what we can do. And once we had the 4, market's scary, bro. We had some guy. We had 2 people who we knew what price they were going for, and then 2 people who were owners, so their prices would just be completely volatile and just open to completely messing up. So we just had to go into market and hope that we get the team. And once we had it, we knew that that was out the way. We just started playing together. We just started scrimming, started getting some games out the way, and um, I know we had a rough patch towards the end of the season, but once we were in the playoffs, we were like, okay, fuck the regular season, just look towards the playoffs, and we were all confident that we were able to win the whole thing. we didn't want to get too ahead of ourselves. We wanted to take it one step at a time, but there was no doubt in our minds, and I'm sure Brunted would reassure me in that.
100%.
Hmm.
100%.
All right. Any last words on this semifinals game?
All I'm gonna say is, any Syndicate people watching, GG, and we appreciate the rivalry we've had for 2 seasons, and maybe it'll carry on into season 6. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, and I want to give my special mention to Gray because this rivalry had, if there was a core piece, I feel like you'd have to give it to Gray from going from
Oh,
one team
100%.
to another. And Gray may be Gray may be my favorite teammate that I've ever played with. He is such a good teammate, really. And for him to end up on the losing side both times, I feel really bad for him. But he's an incredible teammate, and I know that if they plan to stay together, they've got an incredible camaraderie. I know Fui might even go for the MVP next season. Gray's always in MVP contention as well because he's such an incredible player. But yeah, just wanted to give special mentions there. Yeah, it was a great game. GG's to Syndicate. But yeah.
All right. Then we will move on to our first finals game of the history of the podcast that we're covering. We'll go to the B League finals where Mousetrap defeated Arcane Academy.
Yes. Okay. I'll talk about the build-up first. Actually, Pony, you know like as much about the build-up as me because you were involved. On the day before, or like even the week before, we were feeling so confident because we didn't breeze through, but our playoffs game in quarters and semis, we won both 3-1. We only lost 2 maps all the time, and we felt really confident. We felt like we were playing like our best stuff of the season by far. And then on the day of the scrim, like everyone's shaky for the first time. Like we weren't that nervous for the last 2 games, but for the finals, it's a team we've never beat before. We haven't scrimmed very much. We're nervous. We have this pre-game scrim against like a roster that you were in, Boney, I think. That I feel like any other day we'd have done really well and won and felt confident, and we got like smoked. We won like 2 maps out of 5, and we thought it was fucking over. It was terrible news. And then we go into map 1, which is space, and we lose the first two rounds. We kind of bounce back a little, and then we die to a fill. And the mental is gone. It's really bad. But we kind of put it together. And actually, say what you like about Dick TV Passion, pull us out from the trenches because he's just very loud and he like dominates the VCO and pulls us back into it. Like I think our mental was really actually. Keys, do you want to say something about the semis before we move on to the game itself?
Semis.
Yeah, the semis against Gotham.
I barely remember the semis. I only remember the finals.
Like,
I deadass don't remember.
or yeah, well that actually makes sense because
yeah, Keys doesn't remember going 21-1. He must have blacked out and
That
I
whole
was
game
gonna
I
say,
just baited. I baited. That was just
we
me.
actually went through this. Like we lost a map and he dies once in the entire game. 4 maps, we lose one of them and he dies once. I don't know. It's dubious. It's very dubious. But that's like you said. Those games weren't as memorable because we felt kind of comfortable in them. There were 2 teams we'd scrimmed a ton in the season. Like we played Sugar Rush and Goth Money in probably 3 scrims each throughout the season. We got them. Like I love both those teams, by the way. It was like my second or third favorite teams, and then Arcane's like my first favorite team. Like everyone we had to knock out was so likable and like awesome, which kind of sucks. We felt comfortable, and then the day of, we're shaky for the first time. Keys loses top fight, which doesn't happen often. Well, you lose some of the top fight. We die 5-3 on space. We have to go into map 2 graph, which I'm way more comfortable about. Partly because Kel is benched on it, and Kel is, I mean, all of Arcane is great, but Kel is definitely the scary player. It's like Elglaze, but him being benched on that map makes us a lot more comfortable. And we pull it back and win that map, not comfortably, but it's 5-3. We're definitely calmer Dick TV, it's just like unmuting and giving us plans between rounds, which is like fair enough. W Dick TV. And once we win that map, then I was like on. I feel like we were really settled after that. I don't know about the rest of the team, but like we got Slay. Well, the dagger on Slay is the Keys 1v3 clutch. You saw that on the IBL edits. It was nearly a savior race. Actually, the Keys has told me this so much. It was nearly a savior race, but I died 1 second too soon. It was really cool. I got an X IBL edits X mention. And we won. We won Slay comfortably. And then like we were already celebrating halfway through Mill, and we almost fucked it because we lost 2 of the last 3 rounds. But we got it through a fill, which was done by Blocks and Finn, which was nice. And the poetic, I don't know the full history, but Blocks and Finn, I think lost to a fill in the playoffs last season or the season before or something like that. And then they got to win it all through the fill, which was nice. And I know it meant a ton to that trio of Blocks, Finn, and Dick TV to win the B League after all 3 of them trying for like multiple seasons, which is really nice. Me and Keys are kind of new gen. It's our first season. Like it's still really cool, but I know it definitely means more to basically everyone else in the team than it did to us. So yeah, I'm happy for them. There was also some crying in our VC. At the end, lots of excitement.
It was all Keys,
yeah,
right?
It's very cool. Yeah, mostly Keys, but you know, he's not good with the big occasions.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have him. What like a everyone did their job so well in that game. Like the stats are really good. Everyone got kills. I think everyone played great on the day, which is kind of the way our season was going at that point. I feel like we became so much better in the last 5 or 6 games, if you include playoffs, and like the very end of regular season. We felt really good. We actually had chemistry, playing to our strengths. We actually did fills, which we just were not capable of in the first half or so of the season. And then we win the entire thing on a fill. It's like character development. It's awesome. We grew as players or whatever. Is that tough?
It's so tough.
So tough.
No, I'm just gonna say Pine Block was a very big help to the the finals one for sure. I'm gonna go back to like before playoffs. Before playoffs, this is the first time I've auto reviewed actually in the whole season. We've auto reviewed playoffs. Like I did usually like I don't know. Big always wrote notes, but I just never read them. But this is the first time I've auto reviewed by myself, and my whole game plan was just to kill Grudge.
Oh wow.
So when we got to Mill and Pumpkin was our last map, but we 3-1 and won on Mill. I was just gunning for Grudge, and you know, that's how we won.
W Tech. No, but actually we won with the power of friendship and chemistry. Is like what he meant,
Exactly. Yeah.
more or less.
So going up against such a strong team in Arcane Academy and having like a headliner like Kel, how do you I don't know, stay focused on like not overcommitting like all your attention onto the big name player? Like how is that approached?
For some reason, it generally, I don't think that was an issue at all. Like we knew Kel was the danger person, and we knew that Graph would maybe be an easier map because Kel wasn't on it. But like in the game, we were pretty good at focusing on it player by player. I think part of it is that we're a very melee focused team. Like I definitely think we were the strongest melee team in the B League, and Kel's strength is ranged. So you wouldn't even see Kel in a dangerous situation unless you're in a bow fight with him. So we were just very good at getting our melee ones, and once you get close to Kel, it's definitely easier than when you're far away from him. Also, I think Keys is a pretty comparable player to Kel, maybe even better. So we got our own, sort of headliner that balances that out in terms of net bow value. Like it didn't feel overwhelming at all. We were pretty focused. We played it like a normal game. Yeah, and I think if I remember on the stats, it was hard for either a Scarlet or Kel to go crazy fragging in any rounds or maps. Like we were pretty good at keeping it low and giving ourselves the advantage.
Once once map 4 went to a round 9, was there any nerves starting to creep back in? Like, oh no, this thing might go to a pumpkin patch decider, or was it
That
completely calm?
there was we had to really lock in because we stopped calming and like planning the rounds because we thought we'd already won, especially because Pumpkin was one of our most confident maps. Like I remember we had a map ranking and Pumpkin was right up there. We felt so sure we could win Pumpkin, so when we're up that much on map 4 and we have like this blanket protection for having one of our strongest maps to come next, it feels like so much has to go wrong in a row to lose, which is probably why we started losing. We got way too comfortable. So we just had to dial back in and win. But yeah, it was scary, but it was just stupid, and we never should have let it get that close in reality.
All right. Anything? I think that's all the questions I really had for the B League finals. Did either of you have anything else you wanted to comment on it?
Not really. Like that's everything important that happened. Keys, anything?
That was gonna be our ban, but we
Oh,
convinced
actually,
Big.
that's a good thing to say.
It's a very good point, yeah.
Stuck between banning Slay and banning Mill. And we like switched like an hour before and decided to ban. Wait, what are we? No, wait, what were we between banning?
Banned trenches.
Trenches, yes.
Yeah, we were between banning trenches and banning Slay, weren't we?
Yeah. No, trenches and mill. 'Cause we did not want to play mill because we thought we did really bad on mill and scrims, and I was like,
That's true.
well, I think
We
it's a good
we were
map for us.
terrible on Mill in the early season. Yeah, we considered banning all 3, and then we ended up playing both of Slay and Mill and winning those, which were like the maps we thought were our weaker ones, which is nice. I think is we had good plans to deal with their team specifically on those maps, and we were hard to value because we'd had to change so much of how we played Mill because of how like ass we were at Mill in the early season. So that was a good decision, good VOD review. I don't know who made that call, but that was a big one.
Shout out to Fistfight, without whom Mousetrap would be nothing.
Yeah, W Mogus. Mogus, it's basically Mogus's ring if you think about it.
Really?
All right, which brings us to the final game of all of season 5 IBL. We have Donut Kingdom, the 1 seed, versus the 8 seed Serpentine. Oh wait, no, that's wrong. That was
We are
not
the
the 1
two.
seed.
We were the
That
2
was the 2
seed.
seed.
We were
Yeah.
the 2 seed.
2 seed Donut Kingdom. My bad. I such an unlucky season for Impact, just to say it right there. But
yeah, the finals. Okay, our initial impressions. I don't think really there were all that many nerves. Or most of us were up at a decent time beforehand. We already knew that like this was our goal. This is what we were going to have to do eventually, and the obstacle in our minds was Syndicate. And we didn't think we'd be seeing Serpentine. Serpentine will tell you this. We scrimmed Serpentine a lot around the time of the quarterfinals because we didn't want to scrim Impact. And then we ended up running into Serpentine instead. And we were like, wow, we don't have to play against Impact anymore. And our reference for the our reference for the regular season comparison, us playing Serpentine that season, was not very reliable. I was on Invis on Courtyard, and we all had Serpentine skins on, so it was a. I think that game got them into playoffs. So, well, that's not the point. The game, we didn't really worry too much going into it. We knew we would have a good mental. We knew we were prepared, and trenches was the perfect start for us. We knew we wanted to play trenches. We got it out the way with relative ease, and then Watermill actually ended up being the closest map out of all of them. And God, there were a lot of things going on in that watermill. Kubo aced us with a big clutch at one point, and it's all about holding on, really. You need to be able to have a strong mental without needing something to activate it, right? We lose the first round in trenches. We have to hold, or we just have to keep going, right? And then we won 5 in a row. We ended up getting clipped on watermill. We have to hold on, right? And once it was 2-0, we were confident. We ended up up 2-0 on courtyard, and then we lost it. But God, that courtyard at the time genuinely felt like we were just getting absolutely torched every round, and it completely contrasted the courtyard we had just done against the syndicate. And then we were going into graffiti, and graffiti, I feel like Donut Kingdom has a love-hate relationship with graffiti, because we did not have a good time on graffiti in the regular season. We had to ban it quite a lot, mainly just because of the fact that I am a new healer this season on 200 ping, and trying to snipe people with heals across the map isn't exactly the easiest thing. Losing the first hit on a mid with knockback swords every time isn't the easiest thing, and eventually we found workarounds for all of it, and then we went into the playoffs and won every graffiti we played. And we were up 3-0 on graffiti, lost 2 rounds where Bamsey was 1 kill off an ace and didn't get either of them, because it was in 2 1v1s for aces and didn't get both. But once we were at 4-2, I remember the round, because I don't think we were winning it, and then the game crashed, and we were like, oh sweet, okay, free TO, talked it over, went back into it and won it. And I talked about this with Brunted or someone on the team, that we had some little technical advantages across the playoffs, which kind of ended up helping us out a little bit. But at the end of the day, it felt so relieving to be able to get a ring, because damn, the IBL seasons are long, and you feel like it's in my mind, it was a ring or nothing for us. I felt like we had to get the win or we'd failed. And God, it was the most relieving thing to be able to get that game done. And everyone, all the other guys played so well. Like, I don't know, Bamsey is. I don't think anyone underrates him anymore, but people had their doubts, and it was so incredible watching Bamsey literally become, and I mean, no insult to either of the other two, but I think we can all agree that Bamsey was probably the most consistently best player on our team throughout most of our games, because he just was ruthless, literally. He would pull out a 3k and ace whenever he wanted. And Brunted and Eevees, I mean, God, I'm just so lucky to have the team that I have, because it is ridiculous how we managed to get the team in the end, and being able to cap it off with a win was the most rewarding thing, definitely.
I mean, I'll just add on to everything Grunt said. I mean, from my perspective of the game, like the map selection, yet again, I did not expect them to pick Watermill. I was expecting them to pick Spaceship, personally. I mean, Spaceship was probably one of our least played maps besides Pumpkin, but Pumpkin was like our perma ban, so that's not really a surprise. But Spaceship was like our least played map throughout pretty much the whole season. And just adding on to like why we were scrimming 17 as well, it's just like, why would you want to scrim anyone on your side of the bracket? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, like, Riptide were fucking banging us to scrim from. Well, begging's a bit of an over exaggeration, but they wanted to scrim us a few times, and I was the one who was just saying no because the possibility of facing them in the semis is like we were trying to cook up new stuff, and then we don't want them to see it in the scrims, so it's like it doesn't make sense, right? And with cooking up new stuff, this is where, Gron, we got to talk about the playbook, bro. We actually got to talk about the playbook.
The playbook.
Okay.
The playbook
We
gone
had
wrong.
a quote unquote playbook. Very very bad. It's very bad. We only covered like 2 maps, and let's just say it was the most half-assed thing ever. But it's okay.
Yeah, well,
To be
funnily
fair,
enough,
on the maps that we needed work on, it
yeah.
helped. It did help. It did help.
Because
So
graffiti was one of the maps, and we genuinely used like what was it called? Like the half double
double half.
Titan levy, whatever it was. Like,
We should
oh
have
my
called it
god.
Billboard Levy, bro. Like that's such a better name.
Where Eevees goes on the billboard and we rush the bottom. That was the only thing we ever actually like put
Yeah.
into the box, and it kind of worked. Honestly,
It
people
did
didn't
kind of
expect
work,
it.
but the playbook itself was never like VOD reviewing other teams. It was more so focusing on our own game because in reality, like when you're in a fucking IBL game, like you're only going to be thinking about your mental and your team's mental. Like it's just such a good thing to just have a lot of plays to just be ready to use. And we didn't really, our team wasn't really like suited to just fully change up everything we were doing just to adapt to another team's playstyle, since that's just like that's not really something anyone on our team's ever done. And it's also like our team is just very, I mean, especially like me and Evie's, we're very used to just on the go we adapt. Like small changes is what we're better at. And that's what we kind of kept to our game throughout pretty much the whole season, especially in playoffs. Anyway, speaking about trenches specifically, trenches was like a very solid pick just from our team. Like we picked it again, even though we lost it really bad against Syndicate. Like we did do a little bit of like reviewing 17 more just so of like what their comfortable plan would be. Not really analyzing that much. We were just kind of looking at their comfortable plan, and then we're just thinking about like how it compares to our comfortable plan. And I don't really remember like how we kind of approached their comfortable plan, but all I remember in the game was we were just hitting our shots, and we even though we lost the first round, like we still had the advantage. We just played it really badly. But after that, like we played a very clean trenches, and they just tried stuff out the bag, and it just didn't matter. We were very locked in on trenches. And then Mill, like I know a lot of what we've said is just sounds like, oh, Donut Kingdom have been very on top with everything. No, we haven't. Mill, I would say, 2 rounds we lost were literally just for some reason, like we just went quiet and comms were a bit lacking, especially Kuba's 1v3. Like in my situation, I was one of the last alive. Like I didn't even know it was a 3 or 2v1, and the comms just died out in that round. And it was just after that round, I like reminded the team that we just got to be on top with our comms, especially how we lost 2 rounds in a row. It was quite, especially after losing a very winnable round. It is a bit of a mental toll. However, we literally just kept our head in the game, and then we won the next 2 rounds, closing Mill. But it's just small stuff like that is something that every team just has to be on top of. Just like if anyone goes quiet, if anyone's just a little frustrated, you just gotta. Sometimes that's what a TA is called. Like you just gotta make sure everyone on the team is just in good shape and so as their head in the game. And I would just like to comment on how like just general playoff run, like Bamsey was really on top of that. Like not just how he performed, but like for our team mental, he was such a good link. Like he was so good. I can't credit him enough for that. Like he did such an amazing job. He deserves the recognition out there. Bamsey, like hasn't gotten enough credit with like just how much he's just brought the team together. Like just for people looking at Bamsey, I mean, like just know you are gonna get someone who is willing to just go through a lot to just bring everyone together, and he really cares about how everyone's felt, how everyone's feeling currently. Just he talked to like because I know there was some issues with like our scrims. It didn't really feel like we were kind of dialed in with our scrims, especially like the end of the regular season. Bamsey made sure like we didn't have any of those issues, especially for playoffs when we definitely all really cared about trying to win. Just Bamsey was such a good teammate, just for all of us. Can't credit him enough. Like it would have been much harder to get the victory just without him doing all he did to just give our team mental just the extra push. Bamsey deserves it. All the credit.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like who on Donut Kingdom, and I'm getting a sense from everything you just said, but like is the person that especially on like a map 3 courtyard where losing 5 straight, that's keeping everyone's heads up and stuff like that, or is it more of like a team, everyone's pitching in?
I mean, just generally, like in a game setting, no one on our team was like really upset. Like, I mean, I'm sure I'll just refer back to our Hang 10 game with the tag tier the casters had. Like, unfortunate for Hang 10, like they had 2 rounds up and the momentum was just gone because of a tech tier from the casters. But it's just like everyone on our team just always was like reminding each other to just lock in. We still gotta plan. We still gotta like new. It's like every round is a new round, like sort of mental. Like you just don't think about what happened. You think about the new round, right? And just generally speaking, like our team never really had like a proper IGL. We had like everyone coming in talking about what's happening, everyone giving a suggestion, like everyone knew their game, and we always we were always open to listen to anybody. Like I feel like our team chemistry was just so good, and just having like 4 great friends as a team, it's just like it did help a lot. 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna add to it by saying like, yeah, in the setting of a game, team chemistry is just like an incredible quality to have, and what I'll say that yeah, you wouldn't really find anyone with their heads down ever on our team. Sure, everyone's instrumental in getting each other kind of riled up and in the mood, but before a game, oh god, us 4 having a team of 4 just really good friends. I mean, we never went into a game with bad spirits. We would just joke around with each other, laugh in the middle of a game, in the middle of a tech TO, like in the middle. It just we would never struggle to find the time to try and just lighten the mood. And I, Eevees was definitely a good part in there, wasn't he, Brunted? That's where I give Eevees my credit. He's a funny guy, Eevees is.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something very instrumental, and especially with someone like me, like you can look at the team. It's no um like what's the word? It's obvious that I'm the worst player on the team, right? But we would never act like that. It was it was very humbling, and I was so blessed to be on a team where I'm obviously the worst person on the team, but they'll never treat me like that. We just treat each other as equal, as if we're all just as capable as one another, and we're all part of the same team, right? And being able to have um, a kind of dynamic like that is something which um, a lot of IBL teams can't force, right? And just I think we had the best team chemistry in the league, and I think it was I just think it was super fundamental towards getting us the ring in the end.
All right, well then,
100.
any final comments on the A League finals?
GG.
Just GG. Huge credit to Serpentine. I mean, no easy competition beating out Impact. I mean, I know Gron said like we were looking to face Impact, but like at the same time, it's like if they beat Impact, like that means they must have been at the end just better than Impact. So it's like we always want to face the better end of the stick rather than like it's always the competition is just the most fun part in my opinion. Like
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I was discrediting Serpentine in any way. They're still an incredible team.
oh no,
We
100%.
just we just weren't expecting them at the end of the day, but we got them. They were a very tough competition. They pushed us to the edge quite a bit, but yeah. Only
Yeah,
one team can win.
very underrated team, 100%.
And
Huge credit
first
to
high
them.
pinger to win an A-League ring, I think, maybe. We'll go with it. It's a nice narrative.
I
Yeah,
agree, and I
sure.
won't fact check it at all.
Yeah, don't. We can just go with it.
Anyway, GG, and I mean, I might return to season 6. I probably will, but I don't think Gron will. So I think Gron's done.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to like announce a retirement because I'm not trying to seem like I'm trying to do anything like self-centered, and I'm not even 100% sure. But like, that was one thing about winning. It was like, God damn, I can retire now. I don't need to play anymore. And I think, yeah, you probably won't be seeing me playing in season 6. I've got bigger priorities coming up in life. It's I've done what
Yeah.
I needed to do, so yeah, it's probably about time I hang up the shoes. But God, what an IBL career! I couldn't have asked for anything more.
All I'm gonna say is Gron got emotional. That's like if we make
In the semis, maybe.
if we made it like if we made like I mean we did have a Donut Kingdom channel, didn't we? If we made like a video, bro, we're cutting out Gron crying at the end, bro. We have
Bro,
to.
don't watch Bamsi's syndicate for okay?
I don't even think that's public.
It's not.
All right. Well,
Anyway, that's us signing out.
Well, congratulations to the both of you and to our B League winners as well. That's a wrap for season 5. Any comments? I mean, we've had such a storied season 5, lots of different storylines coming in and out of focus. Any stories anyone in particular wants to recall before we say goodbye to season 5?
There's too many stories that can still happen. That's all.
Not really.
Stories. I don't think so. No.
There's so many stories.
Can we
to
start
come.
the season 6 predictions? Can we get
Oh, I'd be
underway?
so down for that.
I
Season
think
6, let's do it.
I think next season. I think Hang Ten's bringing it home again for Ring 2.
Oh, wow.
That's my prediction.
I feel like there's gonna be another underdog story. There
I
can't
think-
not be. There can't.
I
not
think
be.
Lotus makes it the finals. That's the line.
Do they still have Mudman Son and Skate?
Yeah. And Ice Caps. They bring back the same
Bro,
team. And they go all the
The
way.
same team makes it to the finals. That's good. No, I like that prediction.
Yeah, I know. No, watch this space.
Very strong melee team.
Trust me. I've seen
Yeah.
the line. By the way, can I
No,
say
I think
your
yeah,
guys' season story is so much better than us. We kinda got mugged. We kinda got mugged. Like we just showed up. Oh no. Okay, that's tough though. Like
hey,
your story is cool.
you
I like that.
guys did your thing. The rookies, the 2 rookies in the core.
Hey,
I mean,
we
You
gotta
guys
have
were
the-
rookies, so
we gotta have the basic
that's
stuff,
probably
and then
more
we get
impressive
the.
than a veteran winning their first ring.
It's actually true. No,
Plus
but
with
have the story later.
rookies these days, like it's so much harder to like be a rookie and then take it all compared to how
Yeah,
it used to be. Like
Keys was undrafted as well. Want to point that out? Something we didn't
that's
mention.
interesting.
I went undrafted, except it was season 2.
Oh wow.
they took Kabalik over me. That's a true story.
Oh wow.
Though to be fair, he was better
Easy.
on the team when we teamed up. But that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna make my one genuine prediction, and that a team of CBB merchants is gonna make the B League finals next season.
Lava Pete. Lava Pete's going all the way.
I'm not
I've seen
saying
the
any
line.
names. I'm not saying any names. you can say names if you want. I'm not saying any names.
The lineup
Bring it
of
back
I
in the
want
B-League,
another
Hyla.
underdog story.
Like,
Another underdog story would be awesome.
no, me and Keys are winning B again next season. There you go.
CVV versions.
It's us.
Yeah, next season Gron's going to B League. That's true.
I'm not going. I'm never going back, bro.
Gron
Unless I grab my IRLs
will hit.
and I bring them up from the
Gron
ground.
will hit another best orb in the IBL history.
That's another one. How does that even work? Well, I mean, I can't. I don't want to dethrone my already pretty good one.
Yeah, you'll top your already good one.
Yeah, whatever. I'm. It's whatever. We don't need any more me narratives. I've had enough of IBL.
Gron, we can never have too much Gron narratives, bro.
No, you definitely can.
No, we can't.
Hey, I had a good time. Okay, that's what I'll say.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can get out of me when I'm dropping as many kills in a whole playoff run as like the rest of my team in the finals. It's
That's being a healer, bro. That's all I can say.
Hey,
That's just
I
being a
leached
healer.
off my team one season, and it was worth the time.
Dude,
That's
Gron, without your heals, bro, we would have been nothing, bro. You're the one who committed to being our
bro. Don't be
healer.
glazing me in the podcast like legit, bro. That's
Dude,
for
I
Bamsi.
will glaze you all I can, bro. Like now you're known to be a healer. Isn't that awesome? You want a ring. And
No,
now
every
now
time.
it's
This is
CVB.
no.
People are like,
If I
Gron will
want to
heal.
make
Yes.
my final message of season 5 that I want to say is that I keep queuing up into damn CBB calls, right? And they're like, bro, why did we do this team? We don't have a healer. And I've just won the ring as a healer. And everyone still thinks that me on healer is like doomed or something. But hey, you know what? To each their own. It's fine.
All I'm
I'm
gonna
a
say is,
flex player.
if I pick you, you're healing. Okay, you're healing.
Okay. Whatever.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining me on the final podcast for season 5. Appreciate it.
It's a
Woohoo.
pleasure to be able to talk about our playoff run.
Yes, and see everyone in season 6. God, whenever that happens, that's a high number. But I can't wait. Hey, if I want to say any last words, I might be casting. I don't know. That's we'll see. I don't want to make any promises.
All right. Well, that'll do it here for us. Thank you so much for sticking around. We'll see you in season 6. Maybe.
Yeah. Or right before when you make the really dodgy predictions.
Yeah, probably.